Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of today, Sunday, December 26th, through Saturday to come, January 1st, 2022. We're going to get right into it. I'm using an additional die today. It's one of my adult dice. I don't know why it's without the others or why it showed up with my dice that I use for the weekly readings. But I'm going to go ahead and use it too. We're beginning with Wet and Wild. Cocktail. It's 50-50. And sex. Oh, okay. Spirit says, your choice. So something that will be up to you with regard to love and relationship. Also, cocktail. Try again, and I will. And still sex. Still says try again. I'll try one more time. Email. So this could be about somebody we've been trying to reach and it's been unsuccessful. And we're guided to not give up and ultimately maybe try emailing. And that makes a lot of sense with regard to the weekly general reading, because the energy of Aquarius came up a lot of times, and I was talking about contacting people via some sort of like means of technology. Just had the Hierophant fall away in reverse. That means we could be going untraditional in love this week, doing things that are atypical or not, socially acceptable and things like that. Taking a walk on the wild side. Maybe that's how we started out with the die that said Wet and Wild. As an overall energy, we're beginning with the King of Pentacles in reverse. King of Pentacles in reverse. Let me let you get a good look at it. Behind that, we have the Tower upright. This King of Pentacles in reverse can be about not being overly satisfied with our relationships. In fact, maybe being rather bored with them. Not just our relationships, our love life in general. So even if we're single, and we could be definitely single by choice, and thinking about that, your choice die, and putting that in perspective. We could be single by choice, but that doesn't mean that we don't get bored with our sort of existence as it relates to love and relationship. Like the fact that we're not spending time with a companion. We don't have someone to share special moments with necessarily. We don't feel like there's anybody we can call or reach out to or offer to share something with, to be generous towards, or maybe in reverse, to ask for a favor, support. So we're over it. The King of Pentacles can be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Those traits and attributes would mean, typically like, pretty stable and secure in terms of finances, the type of person that keeps a job. They end up out of one, then it's not going to be for long. They're going to get another job and always sort of be okay in that regard. They like nice things, and they may be a little bit materialistic. Wow. But they depending upon the sign, like Capricorn, for example, is known as like the workhorse of the zodiac. These people can sometimes neglect their relationships because they're always committed to their grind in terms of their livelihood. Virgos are perfectionists in all things, so in the relationships too. In fact, when I looked at that King of Cups in reverse, I felt something about specifically Virgo, and not just being bored in his relationship or in his singleness with his existence, but sort of completely over it. and not wanting to, because you can, you know, sort of revive these things typically, like, you know, life is what you make it. And so through communication with your partner, or, you know, going out and meeting with people, you can make changes. You can turn that thing around for the positive if you're just feeling bored. But when I looked at it, I felt specifically Virgo male energy that was not just bored, but completely done with their current scenario. So if that's partnered, then they're over that relationship with the partner. It doesn't mean they're going to leave, because again, Virgos are this type that longs for perfection. So they're going to like ride it out until it's perfect. Obviously, that time is never going to come. The wheels done fell off. It's, you know, way over. They should have been gone, but they're still there. So just because he feels like that doesn't mean he's going to leave. But that's the feeling I got when I looked at that King of Pentacles in reverse. But we now have a much more positive energy. It is the Four of Wands. And it's possible, but look, the Tower is still back there. He could have this Four of Wands perhaps with the other person, or for those who are not necessarily feeling that way. You know, maybe not a Virgo. For the Capricorns and the Tauruses, you know, maybe there's an opportunity for maybe revelations, like for communication, and for things to come out, and for you to get on the same page with your partner. In fact, the revelation can be that you're already on the same page with your partner, because with these other cards, we're starting with the Ten of Cups, and that's exactly what the Ten of Cups means with regard to love. It means you may be feeling worried, stressed out, like things aren't going right, things are off, and you could even be like running up your pressure with it, having anxiety about it, just making yourself like literally ill, sick, with worry that things are not going well between you and your partner, and it's all in your head, and everything is fine, really. The Ten of Wands says, you're working far too hard and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others and take some time to play and to enjoy life. So this is definitely about, yes, enjoying life, spending time with loved ones, including your partner, and also getting out of your head so much. And it was here coupled with the Ten of Cups. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or a chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. I did just get that King of Cups, that could be his concern too, that this other person that he has on his mind, whether he's single or partnered, he's got this other person that has feelings separate from that on his mind, that he's sort of longing for, even though he may be in a relationship that's boring him to death, is on the same page as him. Like they feel about him the same way he does about them, which is, you know, lovingly. There could be very sudden and unexpected commitment for somebody coming in the near future too. Like the first, you know, by the first week of January through the time for which this reading is. With the Four of Wands, there with the Tower also upright immediately behind it. Tower is about a very sudden, you know, some energy coming in very, very quickly and changing everything. And I think somebody could go from single to coupled, or, you know, from dating to engaged, from engaged to let's elope this weekend, let's get married now, in the very near future, with the Four of Wands followed by the Tower, coupled with the Tower. It could be something about moving in together also. Wow. Our overall energy is the Two of Wands, which is the twin flame or soulmate card of the tarot. You've come into your own new partnerships or contacts contracts rather, continue to move forward. And those new contracts can involve new commitments, right? Well, it's a contract, it's a commitment. The new commitment that I said might come in very, very suddenly and unexpectedly, that this Four of Wands represents when joined by this Tower. And I hadn't made note of it before, but the next card is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So this can be somebody having made a conscious decision, you know, with in their earthly mind, with their 3D, to, you know, finally let go of those energies that they were feeling before. Maybe give some more time to their relationships, try to get more in balance in terms of love and relationship, and not spending so much time thinking about the material or money or stability or security or work and all those sorts of things. I'm actually going to use these first. We'll pull one card. Well, this one fell away, so we won't give this one to anybody. It's the Five of Swords in reverse, so we'll use it for everyone. Five of Swords in reverse, similar to what I was just saying about the Two of Pentacles in reverse, can be about, you know, being over whatever conflict was happening maybe between you and a prospective lover, or you no longer being conflicted, you know, with in your own mind, in your own heart, and knowing what you want. And, you know, deciding to get out there and maybe to communicate and to try to make sure that communication is in a healthier way than, you know, on past occasions. It's about change, right? So maybe a change, fives are about change, a change in the way we communicate and deal with each other, or a change about the way I've been feeling, a change in my awareness, you know, inner knowing, and in terms of what I want, that sort of thing. So the card that will be for the fire signs this week in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The card is the Magician in reverse. For the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, your card is the Fool in reverse. For the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, our card is the Hangman in reverse, or the Hanged One in this case. And last but not least, the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, your card is the Nine of Cups, also in reverse. So for some of these energies, the reversal is going to mean they're not as strong as they would be were they upright. But for others, there's a specific meaning to love that we're going to talk about. Keeping in mind the whole time that our overall energies are the Two of Wands and the Four of Wands, which couldn't be, you know, much more perfect in terms of love and relationship before a love reading. You know what, let's talk about those first. Let's start with the Two of Wands. Aside from it being the twin flame card of the tarot or a soulmate card of the tarot, it's also about equity and equality in relationships and more reciprocity and balance in relationships. It's not one person feeling like they're giving or receiving more than the other, or that they dominate the other, you know, in any way that is unhealthy or anything. There's one thing to be sort of, you know, male, female in terms of pieces that fit together. But, you know, like even when you're working with electricity, for example, they'll call, you know, like the plug is the male and the outlet is female. It's that sort of thing. So that's okay. But it's the understanding that both the receptacle and the piece that's inserted are of equal value. One doesn't work without the other. You know, so it's equality and equity in that sense. Doesn't mean we have to be the same, or that we have to do the same things, or have the same roles or jobs within the relationship. I mean, that'll be up to any, you know, in a couple individually, how they, you know, what they do in their home, their own business. But when we're talking about equality and equity in a relationship, it is speaking of the necessity for both to the same extent, and neither being greater than the other. And the whole, the relationship, the whole, being the sum of its parts, right? We each are necessary to make up that whole successful relationship. If we're single and looking, it's possible that we're not looking right in front of our faces, and that someone who could be very good for us is already part of our life, right? And maybe somebody that we don't look at in this way, you know. And it's about not judging a book by its cover. And I've definitely had that experience. Not that I had judged the book by a cover in terms of, you know, this man is unattractive or anything like that. I never had those kind of thoughts, but I had never thought about him romantically until we ended up romantic. You know what I mean? Until we sort of, the universe sort of thrust us together. And so that's what this is speaking of. Not necessarily somebody that you don't find attractive, just somebody that you hadn't necessarily considered as a romantic partner. Maybe because you're just really great friends, and you know, I never looked at them like that. Or maybe because you work together and you've never considered dating anybody that you work with, or for whatever reason. Still, don't. There's somebody that's already active in your life that you don't want to necessarily count out if you are single. The Four of Wands can be about a relationship getting a lot deeper and more committed, up to and including even possibly marriage. What I just said, you know, somebody could be suddenly deciding to get married or actually getting married. Maybe, you know, that's how they're going to decide to celebrate their new year or something like that, which is beautiful. If that's the case, again, I've been saying life is short. I've been thinking about, you know, the human lifespan and stuff a lot. I think because of COVID and being on this journey and having this channel for the past several years, and you know, seeing meeting people in relationships and watching things come and go, and that I've just had like a revelation about how as in terms of humanity, we really need to get over ourselves, you know, as a collective of people, and the stipulations that we put on relationships that prevent people from allowing themselves to be happy and doing what really would make them happy, because they're more concerned with what society might think, or hurting somebody else's feelings, like in the temporary or something like that. You know, it is possible that if you have to dump somebody so that you can be with who you really want to be, that you're going to hurt somebody's feelings. But again, these things are short-lived. These things are only temporary. But what is also only temporary is life. You know, so if you pass up on your life for the sake of somebody else's happiness, well, they're really not going to have happiness either, because if you're remaining with somebody with whom you're not happy, the relationship is never going to be what either one of you deserve. So anyway, getting specifically back to the Four of Wands, if you're single and looking, then there may be some events, I mean, there may not, depending upon where you live, because of Omicron and the COVID pandemic at large in general. But typically, when this card shows up, you know, other people's weddings or any kind of event, birthday parties, and all this sort of thing, is usually a really great place to meet somebody special right now. You still should, if you get invited out and there's a safe way for you to participate in something, you still should. And you should still, you know, spend time in places where you can meet people to the extent that that is safe for you wherever it is you live. Moving on to the Five of Swords in reverse, in addition to what I already said about it, this card could also show up because of exactly what I was just talking about. You could be sacrificing your own happiness because of a need to sort of show or feel that you're right, or to do what you believe is right, what society deems is right, or what your family deems is right, what your ideological beliefs or religious beliefs deem as right, and all this sort of stuff. And in the meantime, you're being made unhappy, or you're making yourself unhappy. So a question that you may want to ask yourself instead is, do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? You know? And sometimes you really got to let go of your ego. Did I say eagle? I meant ego, of course, but did I say eagle? I feel like my tongue just said eagle, and why I'm wanting to clarify is because anything that comes out of my mouth is never by accident, even if I don't know in the moment why it was said. I don't know what let go of your ego could mean, though. So moving on. But sometimes you have to let go of your ego, and like whether you're looking for love or you're looking for a long-term relationship or whatever, and just follow your heart and go after whatever that thing is. So that in mind, that could also be what was up with the King of Pentacles in the beginning, the Virgo that I saw that's not happy. He's sacrificing himself for the sake of his mate, and again, what other people will think about him leaving him or her, and whether or not that's right. So instead, he's just going to live a life of unhappiness and, possibly die like that. That's not why we're here. But I digress, and we'll move on to the Magician in reverse for the fire sign. So for you, this can be about you like losing faith and confidence in your own ability to find, attract, keep a mate, new love, a man, a woman. If you're single, you really got to stop this. I mean, everybody that's feeling this way needs to stop it. But if you're single and you're trying to manifest something, you're just putting more fear and negativity into the universe, if those are where your thoughts are. So if you want to be successful in, attracting this mate, you just really got to cut this out to be successful. If you're in a committed relationship, then this can be about like a hesitancy to talk about what it is you really want and need, like something that you're not getting, something that's not being fulfilled, maybe. So this would be how the King of Pentacles energy is relating to you. I said people are bored in their situation, are bored in their relationship, bored with their existence. If you're lacking something, or you feel like you're lacking something, you're unfulfilled, then this is how it's applying to you. And if you want to remain in the relationship you're in, but just have it actually provide you with what it is you need, then you got to communicate what those things are to your partner. I mean, it's not fair, treat them as if they should be a mind reader. And you've probably been avoiding this for a while. It's just time to be brave and to communicate these things. And, you're a fire sign. You were born to be brave. You were born to be about your business and, action oriented and aggressive about going after your desires. The Fool in reverse for the earth signs can mean that your desire for freedom, independence, to live your life how you want, when you want, with whom you want, the way that you want, is interfering with your love relationship. So you might be like, well, Queen, you were just saying you should do all those things. You should do what you want. Yes, I was. But I did also talk about balance and equity and equality in the beginning too. And there's nothing wrong with just doing what you want, period. Unless you want a relationship. If you want to share your life with somebody else, then there has to be some balance. There has to be some fairness about it. There has to be some equity and equality about it. So if you want to be in a relationship, it could be a problem if you are behaving as if you're single. And that can be what the Fool in the Reverse is about. Just taking it to an extent where it's affecting either your ability to attract a relationship, because people are thinking, they're put off by your independence. They're just thinking that you want to be by yourself. You're giving off a message that you want to be single, or you're causing harm potentially to your relationship if you are coupled and you are behaving as if you're single and giving the world the appearance that you are single through your behavior. So those are going to be one of the things that you correct. But again, it's your choice. Like the dice said in the beginning too. It's your choice. You're free to just live your life however you want to live it as well, and not be in a committed relationship. The choice is really about whether or not to be in a committed relationship. Air signs. So we've got to let something go. It could be an actual relationship. It could be our vision of relationship. Like Mariah Carey said, our vision of love. The idea of a particular kind of relationship or kind of person, or having a relationship only with a certain specific person in order to be happy. We can't be happy with nobody else and in any other way. That's what we got to let go of. If we are already in a long-term relationship, when we're having these sorts of inner conflicts, then it may be at a crossroad. We shouldn't freak out if we're feeling this way. Just take some time to think about it and, decide what it is we want. Maybe it's the relationship, again, as a whole, that we need to let go of. Not just, aspects of it or pieces of it. Or the idea of a relationship. I think, our air signs should be pretty good at figuring out, once they do put their minds to it, exactly which is the case for us. Last but not least, the water signs got some really nice energy. Whether reversed or upright, this card is a good card and a positive omen for our love lives, okay? So if you're already in a current committed relationship, again, this is another card that says it's likely to deepen and just become a lot more meaningful, just deep levels. That's probably because of the Jupiter and Pisces influence. Pisces does rule sort of our innermost, our deepest core feelings and things, ruled by Neptune, but also ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is Pisces' ancient ruler, esoteric ruler. It does enter the sign of Pisces on the 28th of this month, so it falls in this week, and then both of Pisces' rulers will be at home. And so that may be why we're feeling these things. In fact, that may be the influence on the air signs as well, because the Hangman represents the sign of Pisces. We've got Pisces, Gemini, Aquarius here with these major arcana cards. If you're single, water signs, then you're likely to meet somebody with whom you can have a very deep and meaningful connection and relationship. And this is going to be within the next few weeks. This is not 10 years from now. You'd be like, oh, I remember there was a weekly reading once, this time of year, 20 years ago. No, this is within the next few weeks. But something may be sparked this week, may start this week. Maybe you'll meet them, you bump into them on the street. Like I told you, I met that guy Rico, and Nothing happened because whatever. That story was so strange. I still have people that are trying to figure that out. They're like, wait, so you put your number in his phone? I'm like, yep, I sure did. For those of you who didn't hear me say it the first time, I met this guy, and I'll go through it really quick. I met this guy on the street. I was not interested. But I met him. I was walking ahead of him the whole time that he was behind me talking to me. When he first walked up to me, sort of like on the side but slightly behind me, I like moved to the side and moved away from him. And he's like, I'm not going to rob you. And I'm like, I wasn't worried about you robbing me. And he's like, oh, then why'd you move? I said, because you're too close to me. Like, why are you up on me like this? And he said that he saw me from across the street. He was attracted to me. He came across the street. He asked me for my number. I haven't given my number out. I think I exaggerated the last time I said like 5 years. It's less than that. But, even that I can think of, the like 2 guys that had my number that I was like texting or talking to, casually, like on the phone and stuff like that. I don't think either one of them was ever saved in my phone. Okay, that's just to give you an idea of the kind of person I am. I'm a real air sign, like seriously. And so I don't give my number out, is the point of that. But he asked me for it, even though I was completely disinterested. This is part of what makes it so weird. I literally took his phone out of his hand, typed my number into it, and hit call. All right? I hit call, handed him back his phone while it was still dialing or calling. He's like, "Oh, you're calling? That was a good idea." I'm like, "Yeah." So now you have my number, and I keep walking. He continues to follow me. Follows me into the bank, then realizes he just followed me into the bank and goes out and to let me handle my business, as he said. I come out. He's still there. He's waiting for me, and he's like, "I just text you. Let me know if you get it." But then he said something else, and I never looked to see if I had the text. I guess I just presumed that I did. And I'm like, okay, I really have to go. We parted ways. Don't you know I got home, not that I cared, but it's weird. I did not have that man's number. There was no missed call from him. His number was not in my phone. I did not receive the text. It was not saved. Nothing. Nothing. And it was just like I don't know why I was meant to have that experience, but the universe did not want me connected with that man. And I don't know if it was my masculine, if it was his energy. I cannot explain it. I said maybe I was in more than one dimension at once, and that's the only thing that kind of makes sense. All right, and I just said all that to say, in order to let you guys in on the inside joke, that you otherwise might have been like, what the hell is she talking about? That you could meet people out, like I said, this week, and then maybe nothing really comes of it until next week, the week after. So now, specific to love, I'm doing this. I was asked to, I don't know if you saw, because very few people did, the astrological readings I did for the month of January, but a couple of people who did actually see them asked me if I could. It was funny because more than one person asked me if I could do the weekly like this. So I did the general like this, and now I'm going to do for the love reading. So this is specific to love, recent, past, near future. It's 3 cards in each placement. 5D, or higher self. Lower self, or 3D, earthly. And the heart of the matter for the week. Keeping in mind again that the overall energy is the 2 of Wands. Recent past. The 6 of Wands. Success, victory, whether single or couple. Like if you're single, this can mean in the very near future, like I was just talking about. You could be meeting somebody who's going to be the perfect match for you, the person you've been dreaming about. This card also came out in the general reading. Might have come out in the love placement. as our love card for the week. I think it did. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. This is a very fiery energy. It's about movement. Maybe there was some stagnation before, but wands are about movement. Things are getting going. If you are already coupled, again, it's a sign of deepening of relationship and of commitment and getting more meaningful. It is partnered here with the Queen of Wands, who is confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. The Queen of Wands is also potentially an Aries, Leo, a Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And as confident and strong as she's described, though, she may be conflicted or having some, thoughts again about herself, not realizing how powerful, how deserving, how worthy, just as we were just talking about with the fire signs. Actually, they had the Magician in reverse, and I said that, they may be wondering, like, what's up, what's wrong with me, like, why can't I attract, why am I not being successful at it? And it's about the mindset. So all you have to do is change the mindset. Okay, this is the conflict. And remembering who you are, confident, warm, intelligent, graceful, and then that will attract what you need. Near future, we have Death, which represents the sign of Scorpio. It's time to release the past and to move on to something new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. So that can be what's happening in the near future. You're releasing the past, or you're releasing those things like we just described about the fire signs, or what we were talking about before about the air signs. You're releasing those things so that you're able to move on to that something new that is meant for you and for your future. Death does most directly correlate to the sign of Scorpio. It is partnered here with the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of a given element most directly represents the fixed sign of that element. So in that case, this would be Taurus. So that is interesting because Taurus and Scorpio are mirror opposites, axis signs, mirror signs, or however you want to call it. That there could be some meaning behind that. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. Queen of Pentacles is about creating a comfortable, nurturing, loving environment for yourself, space often in your home, right? Pentacles are about the earthly, so this is often in your own home, just making it more livable, making it a space where you feel more just comfortable, empowered, like, maybe outside in the world, things aren't always perfect, but in here, this is where I feel good. This is where my soul is nurtured. This is where I feel as if I'm a part of the nature of things, and if you don't feel like that, it's about getting like that in the near future, like maybe redecorating, maybe decluttering, throwing some things out, donating some things, selling some things, whatever's appropriate for you in your life, okay? Queen of Pentacles, a Taurus, Virgo, a Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And then we have another Two of Wands. Another potentially twin flame card. In the near future, twin flame energy could be the message. If not, then we look to the meaning again of the Two of Wands in the tarot: balance, equity, equality. So a healthy relationship in the near future. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors or to expand the number of people who are helping you. And I like to put, in these little piles, I like to put the Major Arcana card on top. So we'll do that. Higher self, 5D energy. Your higher self is sensing that you are anxious, you are nervous, you are in fear, and they want to change that abruptly, get you out of that energy. Your worries and fears aren't real. They are fueled by focusing upon the negative, which gives power to that of which you're afraid. Stop worrying, let go of fear, and everything will be okay. Okay, that's the message from your higher self, and that message is supported or that they're right on about this energy. Of course, your higher self knows you, but it's right on about this energy. But it's here coupled with the Five of Swords as well. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcomes. Why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others. So your higher self wants you to turn this around, and it needs to be fast. It needs to be quick, because there's so much that's out there for you that is positive. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. Major Arcana card 10, the wheel represents the planet Jupiter, again, which moves into Pisces this weekend, or this week rather, on the 28th. And is the ruler of the sign of Sagittarius, as well as the ancient or esoteric ruler of the sign of Pisces. 3D, earthly. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you are in control. Who's feeling that way? It's the King of Pentacles type. Maybe the King of Pentacles that we started with, the guy that was in reverse, that I told you wanted out. A Virgo, ruled by the planet Mercury, which rules also the planet Gemini, which the Magician represents. Magician represents the planet Mercury. All right, compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded is the King of Pentacles. Also, potentially a Taurus, Virgo, a Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible. And money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. Now, if the King of Pentacles is somebody who moves toward you, as opposed to away from you, he is generous. He is stable. He is secure. He, is good with money. He works hard. He's not afraid, to work, to earn a living, to earn his keep, to earn respect. He puts in the work. And then when he, reaps the rewards of those, of that work, he's generous. Now, he's giving. He is loving. And he's a provider. He provides stability. He provides support. He provides love. And this could be you manifesting that, or this could be him, again, manifesting the strength to leave the situation that isn't working out for him, to let go of the fact that, no, he isn't perfect, or to accept the fact that, no, he isn't perfect, and to let go of the fact that his relationship isn't perfect, that he's currently in, and to get over it, or the situation he's currently in isn't perfect, isn't even necessarily meant for him, and to get out of it and to manifest something better. Major Arcana card 1, the Magician. There's magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful. And at the heart of the matter for the week, in love, we have the Moon. This is very interesting. We have the Moon, Major Arcana card 18, which represents the sign of Pisces. And this reading goes through January 1st. January 2nd is actually the new moon in Aquarius. So we have a new moon. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. Was it a new moon in Aquarius or new moon in Capricorn? I know what it is. It's the new moon in Capricorn, and the same day, January 2nd, Mercury, again, ruler of Gemini and Virgo, also moves in, leaves Capricorn and moves into Aquarius. That's where I was getting the Aquarius thing from. And look what we got here. We got the Mercury, again, ruler of Gemini and Virgo. This can also be Venus, right? Ruler of Libra, ancient ruler of Gemini, ruler of Taurus, or again, the Aquarius energy, located in Taurus currently. Or Aquarius' ruler, rather, Uranus, located in Taurus. Yeah, so I think that this week is all the stuff for the week, and sort of building up to and leading up to or into the next week. And this Heart of the Matter is all about technically the next week, beginning January 2nd with the new moon in Capricorn. Some sort of major change that will be coming there. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon. So this worry that we had here in the 5D, or that our higher self was wanting to tell us about, it's all unnecessary. Our higher self is telling us there's no need to be concerned, because what's coming for us in the reality in the 3D is all good. So there's that. The moon most directly represents the sign of Pisces. Earth's moon most directly, or Earth's moon rather, rules the sign of Cancer. Then we have the King of Swords. He is intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, then seek out the most experienced expert you can find. The King of Swords, somebody who says what he means what he says. He's no nonsense. He's very diplomatic. He can figure out, he can be very neutral in a situation. If you want him to figure out a conflict for you, help you figure out a conflict in terms of who's right or what's right and what's wrong. He may be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And also could be somebody professional, a judge, a lawyer, something like that is significant this week. The King of Pentacles, all right? We got two Kings of Pentacles, one atop the other. Here's one, and here's one. And we had one that we started with. So we've seen the King of Pentacles at least 3 times in this reading as a very significant character this week. He is generous, professional, responsible, and practical. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities that you're offered. You have the Midas touch. King of Pentacles, get your relationships together. If you want to leave, then leave. It's been time from what I can see. Just decide to start your new year off right. If you want to stay, then stay. Again, decide to start your new year off right. Like, put your foot down, make a decision, and go with it. And that goes for everybody. Not, because the King of Pentacles, again, was our overall energy. It was sort of representative of what we're all dealing with. Hope you guys have enjoyed the weekly love reading. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I do appreciate it. I'll be back with a new moon in Capricorn reading. Namaste.